I think we give a lot of people who aren't smart and just want attention platforms to be loud and incorrect, and other stupid people just follow them. Like, where are the people with skills? We need electricians. We need more drummers, painters, teachers. Everybody with a mic is crazy. I just think that shit is gross, which is
listen,
Tyler the
Nick,
Creator.
I hate to interrupt Tyler the Creator and yourself. But welcome to Hate to Interrupt, episode 40, the big 40. And I am Ethan, otherwise known as Gulif from youtube.com/Gulif, joined by
Nick from Stop Culture.
VHS guy, Nick.
And we're joined by LaughingLulu, Lucas from LaughingLulu Productions on youtube.com. How are you doing, man?
Yep, that's me. I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Have I ever told y'all how I initially met Lucas?
No.
I hired him on Fiverr to edit one of my first YouTube videos.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had those streams that I did that I edited into videos, and I hired Lucas on Fiverr, and then I invited him into our new Discord once he switched to movies.
The one he eats an egg and then calls his dad, says he has AIDS. That one.
I'm not familiar with that one.
I privated that one.
Yeah, I figured.
Wait, so when did you learn how to... You couldn't edit videos at that point, Nick? Or you just wanted someone else to do it?
It was just, I wanted to do actual like video essay type videos, and I didn't really want to sit down and edit stream footage down.
Yeah.
So it was laziness.
It was laziness, yeah.
But yeah, so we got Lucas on the pod today because Lucas has been a big supporter of Hate to Interrupt since the very beginning, so we're proud to have him on here.
HTI OG.
He's a good friend of ours. We've been we're all in a Discord together. Today we asked Lucas what would be his ideal episode to be on, and his answer was he wanted to talk about 28 years later because he's a big zombie guy.
Yeah,
he's the biggest zombie guy I know, really, probably.
I think.
Oh, really?
I think so. I guess I don't know that many zombie guys.
I'm a pretty big zombie head.
I think we're all pretty human, but that's just me.
Nick, you're gonna say you're a bigger zombie head than Lucas? I don't think you are.
I'm less into The Walking Dead, probably.
You're more into the older zombie stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we talked about the first two.
Real quick. Do you want to? I feel like someone might get mad that we didn't finish tell you what. We didn't let everyone know what that quote was from.
Oh yeah, that would be a little random. No, it's Tyler the Creator talking about why we should ban podcasts.
Oh my god!
So I thought that was funny.
Because it's just a bunch of people who are loud and incorrect, and stupid people follow them, and podcasting isn't a skill, which I know is rich coming from a podcaster, but I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it's definitely a skill. Some people are better at it than others. Has this motherfucker never heard of the gift of gab? It's a thing. You have to be able to talk off the cuff for hours on end. It's a skill that you can hone, for sure. I think that there are too many people doing it, and maybe we're contributing to that.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen people make the memes where they're just like, we should have an interview if you go into a Best Buy and try to buy a Blue Yeti mic, and they go, what are you buying this for? I'm starting a podcast. What's it about? No. Oh, it's about how to pick up women. No, get out of the store, sir.
But yeah, so a couple weeks ago we did the first 20. What do we call this franchise? The 28 franchise?
28 trilogy.
28 time
blanks.
later. Yeah.
Yeah, 28 times later.
How do you guys feel about them skipping months and going to years?
I think it's smart.
We're closer to 28 years than we are to 28 months, so we're 25, 23 years from the original.
Probably didn't want to take the time to make it a period piece. I guess that's kind of always going to be a period piece since the world's kind of always stuck in that time.
Right.
Yeah, no one would really say 28 months. That's it's not a round number. Maybe you would say 36 months or 24 months because that's 2 years. 36 is what? That's a year and that's 3 years. So maybe you would say 36. I don't know. But it's just not very, it's not it doesn't sound like normal parlance to be 28 months later.
It's also much more interesting to know what people are doing way after all this shit happens.
Yeah.
Because the early days kind of ran its course in the original.
Yeah. I gotta say, I know we talked about this a little bit. I just find it because that never. Well, I will get into it later, but I don't want to jump like right into the movie before we like even introduce it. But I have one sticking point about this movie. I did really like it a lot though. I think this is actually my favorite one out of all three.
Same.
Oh really?
I have a couple negatives, but overall I really love this movie.
Oh no.
I think this is I think I think it's equal with the original, and maybe the original is a little better for me, but I still really love this one. I know it's very divisive.
Yeah. I'm gonna get shit on by all three of you because I did not really like this movie. And okay, I'll say it's better than the second one. The second one pisses me off so much.
Terrible.
But it's so bad.
It's like no, I don't think it's anywhere near the first one. I'm sorry.
I think it's very different.
Yeah, what do you hate so much about it though? That's what I don't know. There doesn't seem like that much to hate about it. It's pretty well put together, I think.
Okay, well, it's not that I hated it. It's like, okay, it does do a lot of things well, like really good acting, like visually beautiful, like it does a good job at like recreating the style of the first one with like the camera tricks and whatnot.
Yeah.
The zombies are still like as terrifying as ever. I just like had a problem with like the story. I think the story was the biggest like, wow, this is kind of lame for me, I suppose.
So what part of it? Like the
I like that the whole okay. there's so much. Like I like the beginning where it's like, okay, we have this dad and the kid like on this like island, and like the kid has to go out there and he has to like prove himself, right? And so they do all that, and then it's like, I don't know, maybe it would take away from the movie if they like explained like anything about the island, like like
I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory.
To be like, I guess, but maybe it would have like added a little more if like
you wanted more lore.
They just like, oh yeah, a little more lore. And that was like one of my problems later on, but like I don't know. And then like I like the whole drama about like the dad giving up on his wife and then the son being like, no, I'm gonna save my mom. I'm like, okay, that's like cool. And so right, he goes to go find the doctor, which famous actor, I forget his name, Ralph something.
Ralph Fiennes.
Oh no,
Voldemort.
I wasn't even close.
It's spelled Ralph, but it's pronounced Rafe.
Oh really? I didn't know that. I think, okay, his character was like by far the most interesting, yet they give no like explanation to him either. Like he gets no lore. Like
what are you talking about?
They kind of did give him lore. Yeah,
they get like they kind of he's one of those like traditional characters of having the like
huge
the twist
exposition
heroes.
dump at the beginning. Like when the kid met him.
Like they don't explain like, was he a part of the island? Why did he leave? Why is he out on his own?
Well, the island. Okay, so it's the entirety of the UK is basically quarantined. So the island is like,
well, yeah,
all of the UK is what's quarantined. The island is just a separate thing. That's just their faction, basically. And that's basically explained at the end too. That's basically explained at the end too. When those gypsies hop out and start fighting. That's like a there's like separate factions that all stay on different parts of the UK.
No, I knew that part. It's just like, so they like hinted at that he was like a part of the island, and then he just
but they didn't though.
Was like, okay, I'm gonna leave, and then he's left, and then he's like out in the wilderness doing.
That's not what happened. The dad was basically saying, hey, we were exploring further and further away from the island, and we ran into this doctor, and he was fucking crazy. But the old guy was saying, but he was talking about like the world before the zombie shit happened. He was saying he was his doctor. He was his doctor in that town, so it wasn't part of like the island. It was part of just the UK.
Okay. But
because Great Finds is in like his 60s, and it's been almost 30 years.
I don't know. I know like I heard he's supposed to become like basically the main character of like the second one or whatever, but I just feel like they didn't do anything, like they didn't do enough things with him. I think that was like my problem, I guess.
I feel like they introduce him with enough mystique to definitely make it interesting for what he's going to do in the next one. And it's not like he was nothing in this movie. I mean, like just the whole like Memento Mori thing on its own was just such a strong visual and such a cool thing for that guy to be doing for like 13 years.
Like the whole sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like the whole concept of like the Bone Temple and like his like Memento Mori thing and like the skulls of like being people that he knows, and like I think that like is like very interesting. I don't know. It just feels like there could be more to it, and it feels like.
But you also have to keep in mind, he's not the main character of this movie. Like, I feel like they gave him as much as they needed to for a secondary character of a film.
Well, yeah. But, okay, here's my problem. Like, it's not just his character. It's like a lot of things in the movie feel like they're just like edging the audience. They're like, ooh, like look at this. Like, oh, you're not gonna get to know more about this until the sequel.
Yeah,
it's like kind of silly.
Well, the good news there, at least. Okay.
No, I can see that being a problem. It didn't really bother me at all, but I've seen a lot of people are not a fan. That this movie does feel, and especially ends in a way that feels like it's a lot of setup for a sequel. But I think this movie did plenty on its own to stand out as like this really kind of beautiful story about like acceptance of like grieving and like the whole story with Spike and his mother. I got teary-eyed in the theater, by the way, when that like whole thing where he has to go like place his mom's skull. I thought that was all like amazing. Right. That was kind of the thematic heart of this movie, and I think that all worked with me. I didn't.
And I will say
feel too baited.
On the sequel front, the second one's already filmed. It's coming out in January.
True.
So it's not like it's not like we're waiting forever. So like
third one's the only one that's not been made yet.
So this is like the way to do it if you're going to set something up for a sequel.
Yeah. I also saw that
Cillian Murphy's going to be in the second one, right?
He's apparently going to play a very small role in the second one, and then going to be like one of the main characters in the third one.
Hell yeah!
So they'll probably introduce him at the end of the second one, and then
What'd you guys think about the tracksuit faction at the very end?
I loved it. I was dying laughing.
That was the only part for me where I was like, I think this is cool, but man, does this feel so fucking tonally whiplash from the rest of the movie?
So, I always had a question. I always thought about like, okay, the UK is like quarantined, right? But what's stopping like a group of people like from a different country like sneaking onto the island and just like killing zombies like for fun?
So I mean, I really love the movie. I think that the characters were very, very interesting. I think Ralph Fiennes was awesome. I think the stories were the story was very interesting. The kid kind of going to go save his mom, and then like also like all the drama between him and his dad was really interesting. I think the zombies were really well done. I think they felt very, very menacing. And there's just so much to love about the movie. The violence, like the bow and arrow scenes were all really, really cool. Like how they've actually like developed this method of like fighting the zombies for this island. I think.
What you guys, real quick, what did you guys think of the new like shot idea they came up with, where they mount like 16 iPhones in a half circle, and it's like a Mortal Kombat action kill where if they get shot and then the camera just like spins really quickly around them.
It was cool, but it looked kind of cheesy. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought that was sick.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I like that too. I really appreciated how they were seeming to give the infected in this franchise like a little bit more humanity as time goes on.
Yeah,
I guess like if they live long enough, then they start to get some of their humanity back. Like when the pregnant woman was like holding hands with Jodie Comer's character. That was pretty cool.
I think it's interesting. Yeah, it's at least not a fan, Lucas.
Okay, it is cool, but like they did nothing with it. Like it would have been more interesting if they like See, that's what I was talking about. They like tease something and they're like, oh, maybe we'll
It's stuff that's going to be brought up in the sequel. It's one of those things.
I'm sure it will be.
We're introduced to plot elements that are not going to be relevant until the second one.
Yeah. Well, not only like I don't know. I didn't really feel the need to see a zombie giving birth, but also like I don't know. Like, okay, so this might be too weird, too out there, but the mom, I was thinking like before it was just like, oh, she has cancer, she's dead. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, see, has everyone here seen the second one? Wait, yeah, of course you guys.
We've all seen everything.
So you know how like the mother in the second one was like a carrier, but she wasn't like infected.
That's what I thought that was that situation.
I think that's what
too.
they did with the baby. Yeah,
that's okay. I thought they were doing that with like the mom, and then the mom was like, I don't know, like instead of having cancer, she had like some kind of like evolved form of the virus, but it like wasn't zombieifying her. It was just making her kind of like go kind of crazy. And so like I thought they were gonna be like, ooh, like she has a form of the virus, so she like, you know.
But that would have just been doing more of what you're complaining about. That would have just been setting up more and more questions that aren't answered in this film.
Yeah,
because they wouldn't have time to answer that.
Yeah,
because we didn't really get into the mom's story until the second half.
I thought
that was like
or something.
That was a red herring, I think, because in the beginning they show her acting really erratically, sort of like the mom from the second one, and then in the dream sequence that Spike has, you see her in the water and she has red eyes and she looks really menacing. Like I think they were trying to get people to believe that there was some kind of zombification happening with her, but that's not what it was ultimately.
I think that's like. I think that's like. That could have been cool though. Like it's like anticlimactic now. It's like, ooh, like does she have an evolved form of the virus? Like is she like can she somehow like communicate with the zombies? And then it's like, nah, she has cancer. We killed her. Here's her skull.
But they did give us a lot of cool stuff with the zombies. They gave us like the alpha stuff. They like they brought in some like ways that they can kind of like fight the zombies additionally. Like I feel like they did give us plenty of that.
They also showed that they've kind of evolved a bit to survive, because in 28 weeks they were like all the zombies starved to death, and then they're like, you can see in this one it's like, oh, they figured out how to like they have to eat to survive, they have to drink water.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I mean, clearly they're having sex, and I don't even know if it was like that woman zombie was like special. I think it was like even the like Ray Fiennes' character is like, the magic of the placenta. Like it just like. I don't know. Maybe there's been pregnant zombies before, but every time they're born, they're just immediately eaten,
infected.
But yeah,
I don't know. Like, what is that supposed to mean? The magic of the placenta.
I think he's saying it protects them from the virus.
Yeah, but it's not like the placenta protects fetuses from crack addiction or like alcoholism. Like it's not like a magical membrane that just protects you from anything that the mother has. You know, I don't know. And also, can't babies be born with diseases that their mothers have?
I mean, there have been people that have like had HIV that are born that have kids and their kids don't have it. So
I think a lot of that has to do like a lot of the time babies will get like herpes and shit. And I think that's from like them coming out of the fucking nasty ass herpes coochie.
Oh, okay. So maybe it protects you from some things. Yeah, that's why
people the placenta, Nick.
Have you guys heard? People fry up the placenta sometimes and eat it.
Bro, a lot of people eat it afterwards.
Dude, me and my girlfriend were just talking about that. We were watching like
we were just eating some great ass placenta.
Yeah. It's actually so disgusting though. I can't even lie.
I can't wait till you get pregnant, babe.
I'm gonna eat that up. Could you imagine doing like a tub birth and then just like going full raw and eating it right there in the tub?
It's to show dominance.
Yeah, but
how far we've fallen.
I think we should mention the cocks in the room.
Probably.
I didn't have a problem with the cocks. All the zombies were fucking naked, dude.
You wouldn't have a problem with the cocks, Nick.
I think there was only one, wasn't there? Doesn't like seeing cocks. There was every male zombie had a big old dong out.
All of them.
I only caught the big
Samsons.
one.
It's hard to miss that one.
I mean, they have a couple shots where you're at its thigh level, and it's just like,
yeah.
I just don't see why it's that big of a deal.
I mean, it makes sense. Would you rather them all be running around with like pairs of pants after 30 years of being infected?
Yeah, it's just realistic.
It wouldn't make sense. I mean, it's a rated R movie. If they're gonna show it all full frontal, I want to see it all.
But wouldn't
Don't shy away.
Okay. So like, if you die with your clothes on, right, and then like 30 years pass as a zombie, like, you think it just erode your clothes? You don't think like
absolutely. I wear a pair of jeans for 2 years in a row. They're fucking falling apart, dude.
It might not if you were living inside, but these people aren't. They're
running around the wilderness constantly. Yeah, they're running around the wilderness eating like live animals, chasing deer.
I was gonna say,
I guess it depends on what kind of clothes they are. Like if you were in like heavy duty snow pants or like a Carhartt, maybe. But like if it's just normal clothes, I don't think so.
If you wanted to do the typical zombie thing that like other movies do, you could just be like, oh, their clothes like melted into their like skin, like as they like grew older or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't think Danny Boyle has an interest in that.
It sounds like you just hate seeing penises, which is fine.
I don't mind. I just feel like there was a way around it. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you would.
Actually, it's funny.
We see plenty of boobies in movies. Like, come on, where's our equality? Equality.
Yeah,
equality.
Actually, I wanted to bring up the penises since the main actor Spike is like a 13-year-old and a minor. In the UK, they have laws against like performing with like full nudity around minors. So all of the dongs were prosthetic. They were not real dongs.
Yeah, they're called the Jimmy Savile laws.
In the UK, the age of consent's like mad low for like showing like what's the chick who played Rey and fucking
Daisy
Star
Ridley?
Wars? Yeah, I think she had like a nude scene at like 14 or 15 or something.
Oh god.
What?
Yeah, in a movie. It's pretty fucking weird.
That is weird.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
that's like. Well, isn't Japan like that too?
Probably.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Let's not act like the UK are all high and mighty with all this shit.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I mean, Danny Boyle. Me and Lucas talked about this before the pod. Danny Boyle sounded disappointed that he had to use fake dicks.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm gonna go ahead and let's all go through and say like two things or a couple things that are negative about the movie since I've kind of just been slurping it off. First of all, I think the intro was pretty trash. The intro scene, pretty ass, and Danny Boyle's editing style is annoying. There's definitely a lot of stuff that he cuts to weird spots. He like cuts to the future way too hot, like fast. And it just feels kind of jarring and sometimes cuts the suspense for me. Those are really my two only complaints of the film, but like they are notable.
I'll say that I agree. I think the intro is the weakest, especially out of all three of the movies so far.
True.
And it has less to do with. It doesn't have anything to do with the main story outside of the final scene. And I think I actually fucking love the editing style. This one felt so much more like connected to the original film, whereas 28 Weeks was lacking in that kinetic energy. And I think editing style worked for me. The one thing I will say is that the final scene, without context of the sequel, is such major tonal whiplash for the tone of the rest of the movie. It feels like the beginning of a music video.
It felt like a positive for me, but I can see why it'd be weird.
It was fun, but it was like, all right, this is weird.
Yeah, I share those concerns about the intro, but also another just main issue that I have overall. This is kind of just like a stupid, believability issue or like logistical thing. I just don't really buy that the UK would be a quarantine country after being like one of the world's superpowers since forever, and that people would just kind of like let it just collapse into a zombie wasteland for 30 years. Like I just don't ever see that happening. And
I
the
think
fact that
funny.
it wouldn't it's like, yeah, it's funny for the movie, but it's just like, is this really, it's like they're not even like really trying to make it feel realistic. Like, why would there be this other guy walks in and has smartphone? He has a smartphone. He has a girlfriend with fake lips and plastic surgery and all this stuff. Like everything's normal everywhere else except in the UK. Like I just don't.
I think you kind of have to look at it. You have to think about it from like a sort of like a science fiction type lens. Like if you think of something like Escape New York, which that movie is campy, but it is kind of a sort of serious movie. But like, there's no way all of New York would just become a prison.
Yeah,
I mean, but like why does it have to be like why couldn't it just be the whole world? I don't know. Why is it just the UK? They make it so specifically like it's just here. Like why? I don't get that.
I think that's more interesting to me for like I mean, how many zombie stories do we have where it's just like the world has fallen to zombie? You know, you got Last of Us, you got Walking Dead, you got basically every kind of zombie apocalypse film is that. I think it's more interesting to have a localized area of the world is just the zombie wasteland and the rest of the world has progressed without them. I think that's funny.
I agree.
I think so too.
I think it's interesting.
Well, okay.
I agree that it's not necessarily believable, but I don't know that I care.
Yeah.
It's not a negative. It's not a huge negative for me. It's just like it makes me. I couldn't stop thinking about that during it. Like especially once the Navy or I don't even know the military type
Swedish guy.
Eric, the Swedish guy. Yeah.
Once he shows up, he's like, once you step foot on this island, you're quarantined here forever. So it's like I don't know. I just that was kind of a sticking point for me. But it's also just like a sort of a dumb nitpick, you know. I gotta let my dog outside. You guys can keep going.
Put a pin here.
Yeah.
We'll just wait for a sec. Or do you want to edit this out, Nick?
Yeah, we can. I'll just pause it.
All right, we'll just pause. Believability. Island. Quarantine.
Did you have something you wanted to say, Nick?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay, so
I finished with that point.
My I don't know. So in the second one, they tried to do that, right? Like they tried to infect the rest of the world, and I feel like nobody liked it. So when they went to make this one, they're like undo. They just undid it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think no, just like the title card, they're just like we pushed it back from Europe, and I'm assuming they just bombed Paris, and then they're just like, all right, we're fine.
I feel like it's also like the location Danny Boyle wants to tell the story too.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the only part he's interested in. So like, it's easier for him to just be like, it's only here.
Yeah, but I mean, you can still tell this. I mean, you don't even have to even mention that it's not happening in other places. I don't know. The only thing I mentioned this on the when we talked about the first two films, but I was like, the fact that the incubation rate of the virus is so quick,
it's like 30 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, so it's like in other stories you can sit dormant in someone, or it takes a while, so they have time they're cogent and get on a plane, and then it can get spread to another country that way. Whereas if you get infected within 30 seconds, you're not going to get on a plane or get on a bus or whatever. You're just going to stay where you are, which can make it like more believably localized. So I get that, but I don't know. Well, still, 30 years, just like no one tries to help this place or just nuke it, or that would also be a potential thing that I could see happening. You know,
I hope they touch on that and like how people like why people can't get out, right? Like, I mean, I guess I don't know.
If they just
I want to see people try to escape.
Yeah. If there's like if they're really Spike and Aaron Taylor Johnson's faction, they're like all stuck. They're kind of like sequestered on this one little island. I feel like there might be somebody from another country, like the international community. I mean, the UN still exists. America still exists. They're perfectly fine. I feel like there would be people there would be international aid, like something. People would be trying to help them. Survivors.
I guess that's how we all feel about Britain. We're like, it's fine. It's just Britain.
Yeah, no worries. We didn't need them.
I don't care about their fucking mushy ass peas, dude.
Oh no, fish and chips are lost forever.
Oh, no, beans on toast.
Beans on toast. No.
That was a very funny scene though when the Eric soldier guy was showing pictures of his fiance to Spike. He's like, "What's wrong with the face?"
He's like, "Oh, did she eat like shellfish and got an allergic reaction?" No.
That's also funny that there are people in his community who love shellfish so much that even though they have a terrible allergy, they just keep eating it.
They're like, "Oh, I'll fight through it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have anaphylactic shock, yet I need the shellfish.
Also, I appreciate that this movie, fuck all the people that get mad at me when I say, oh yeah, the zombies and 28 days later, they go, actually, these are infected, and it's not really a zombie virus because they're not dead. Fuck you, because the guy in this movie says that they call them zombies. So
they do, yeah, he literally
screw
does.
you.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm in a fucking island with some fucking zombies. or whatever. Yeah, we're good. Valid. I'm validated.
Wait, they called him. I only remember.
Yeah, no. Eric
him
is like, I'm on a
Swedish
fucking
guy.
zombie island. Yeah, the Swedish guy calls him. So in the other world, like zombies exist, and it makes sense. I hate in zombie media. There's a really good Joel Haver skit where he's just like, "Gosh, I'm sick of all these sniffers. They're always sniffing and infecting everybody. These shamblers, these crawlers are going around. They're running around and crawling around and they're biting people. If only there were a pop culture name that we could call them." In every zombie thing, it's like they think it's too silly to call them zombies, but in this, they're like, no, the rest of the world calls them zombies. They're just zombies.
I appreciate you bringing that up. I don't know if it's cool to bring up Joel Haver on the podcast, but
it's always cool to bring up Joel Haver.
I don't want Nick to get mad. Nick's in a good mood. We shouldn't bring it down. Okay. Joel Haver.
Yeah, fuck Joel Haver, dude. I think it's lame we keep
love you,
shitting on the ending. The ending is sick. The whole movie, depressing as actual fuck. The whole movie is fucking sad as shit.
It's really brutal.
And it was like, it was such a nice change of pace. And it just like left me feel like I left the theater and I was like, oh, I feel great now.
It's kind of like right a splash of water. Out. It's like a bucket of water in the face at the very end.
Yeah, it's like when somebody like when you're having a bad day and somebody lightens the mood for you. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, we should talk about the Jimmy Seville gang because I don't know if you have the context for this, Lucas. Do you know who Jimmy Seville is?
I have no idea.
Okay, that's who all the characters are dressed as, and they're called the Jimmies, or maybe it's just named after the leader Jimmy. But Jimmy Seville he's like a famous DJ, like a famous British guy. And then after he died, it came out that he has like 400 plus sex crimes and against children and women. Yeah, so these characters are based on that guy, or inspired by that guy at the very least, because the really sex crimes wouldn't have come out by the time the apocalypse happened in this world.
Yeah, or it could be that they're just all sex perverts themselves.
Yeah, might be. They really give me like Clockwork Orange vibes. Actually,
I kind of imagined them all as just like gypsies or something. But I guess if I honestly didn't make the connection that it was the guy that he was the guy from the ending.
By the way.
Why did you guys see that? You saw them all in tracksuits and you thought they were gypsies?
Yeah. Well, like I've watched too many Guy Ritchie movies, I guess.
Yeah, but those guys are like chavs, aren't they? In Guy Ritchie movies, they're like townies.
They're pikeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fucking gypsies. Yeah, they're like alt gypsies.
Oh, okay.
Is gypsy a slur?
I mean, yes. So. Yeah. To the Romani people, that is a slur. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's such a good slur that so many people did not know it was a slur because it was so spread around so quickly that everyone just thought that's what they were called.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
People use it as secondhand for like vagabond people that like transients,
like people travel in caravans. Yeah, but they're the Romani people.
I actually never made the connection that the kid at the beginning is the guy at the end.
Me too.
Like, I was just
Yeah, I thought it was Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, and I thought he was just one of those kids that was blonde and then was brunette when he grew up.
It kind of made sense for his story, like why he was like pushing his kid like so hard to like not be a huge pussy like his pop.
I mean, I was like, because initially I was just, I don't really know what the original scene is really saying at this point. Like, it was a kid who has a bunch of blonde siblings and they all get murdered while they're watching Teletubbies, and then his dad is a pastor who's like, this is the rapture, it's good actually, and then he gets blood spewed, and then he he says something to him. He's like, oh,
well, no, it was also weird. He's like, he gives him his cross. He's like, carry on without me. So like he just expects his son to not die, even though the rapture is coming for them and it's a good thing. It's like, why wouldn't he just want his son to die with him?
Yeah.
But he's like, carry on, son. Think of me and God. It's like, what? What?
Wear tracksuits.
Maybe they showed them. This maybe doesn't make a whole lot of sense because they show all those guys killing a bunch of zombies right before the movie ends. But maybe because of that scene in the beginning, they'll have some kind of religious connection to the zombies. They'll like worship them in some way.
I don't think so, man.
By the way they brutally murdered them at the end of the movie, I don't think so.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to think of some connection to the first, like to the beginning, the religious element of it all, you know?
Yeah.
They'll probably touch on that in the next movie, but like I feel like they're probably going to do an intro sequence that sets up another character in the next movie. It's just like, I don't know if I like that trend very much, but the overall movie was great, so like I don't know if I care that much.
I've also found it very confusing that the character of Jimmy shares the same name with Cillian Murphy's character Jim. I just assumed when they were like, I saw the carving in the body that said Jimmy. I was like, oh, is there like a cult based around like Jim from the original 28 Days Later? I was like,
no,
oh,
Jim
okay,
from The Office.
Yeah, obviously.
I will also. It was a huge deal that this movie was filmed on iPhones. What do we think about how it looked?
Oh, I thought it looked great. I loved it.
It looked very.
I would have never guessed. I would have never guessed.
I mean, either. It's shot on iPhone 16, but then you look at the behind the scenes, and it's like, yep, they have.
It's not even 16s. It's like iPhone 14s.
Oh well, they have the iPhone, and then they have like a $120,000 lens strapped to it, and it's like, well, okay, all right, Danny.
Yeah, but
they
but
just
still,
wanted
like,
the record.
I would have noticed that it wasn't shot on like an
it has a
ARRI
look
or a
to
RED
it.
cameras. It has a very soft look to it, which honestly kind of worked in a way because it kind of did make me kind of think of those like the camcorder vibe of the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But it definitely didn't have like a super sharp like look like a lot of films do nowadays, which I think honestly was a good thing.
It was beneficial.
Yeah.
It made it feel real grimy. Yeah. I really liked they did that effect with the they showed a lot of like night vision with like the red. I thought that was really unsettling.
It looked really cool.
Where the alpha rips the head off the fucking stag.
There's a lot of that.
That was horrifying.
There's almost too much of that. That's kind of a negative too. I know that's his signature KO move for Mortal Kombat.
The ripping a head off.
Yeah, there was like
the
spinal
alpha
column
everyone's head off.
Yeah.
It was like a real Sub-Zero.
It's kind of cool,
he did
but
it
it's
to
just
a deer. He did it to
a little
two guys.
overkill. By that point, I was like, how many spinal cords are we going to see get ripped out in this goddamn movie?
All of them.
I think it's great. They should have done it from the other end.
Yeah.
How do we think?
Make it more interesting.
How do we think this ranks in the Danny Boyle
Danny Boyle-verse? Oh,
I mean, I would definitely put it under Train Spotting, both Train Spottings for sure. But I think it's my favorite of these movies. I think I like Slumdog more than this too, but I don't. So I guess I haven't seen all of his movies, but all of those ones I've named and The Beach I've seen, and probably a couple more. But
I think
middling,
I liked
it to answer you.
I think I liked it more than Train Spotting, and I did not like it more than Slumdog Millionaire though. That movie's just so fucking good.
Yeah.
I've only seen the 28 Days movies from him, and I've seen the Train Spotting movies. So I think this is Train Spotting 1 is probably my favorite, and then 28 Days, and then 28 Years, and then Train Spotting 2. But they're all really good.
Well, what about Yesterday?
I didn't see Yesterday.
Did he direct Yesterday?
He directed Yesterday.
He directed
that movie is
Steve Jobs, 127 hours too.
Sunshine.
The Ashton Kutcher Steve Jobs.
No, the good
Seth
one.
Seth Rogen Steve Jobs.
No, the one they made after everyone hated the Ashton Kutcher one.
Yeah,
the Michael Fassbender.
No, I haven't seen Sunshine, but I hear people talk about Sunshine all the time.
Yeah, these are the only ones I've seen. But 28 Days, out of that, it's at the higher end of the middle from all the ones I've seen. It was really good. It was good. But I really like Danny Boyle. He's a really good filmmaker, I think. So it's not anything negative about the movie. I just like his other movies more.
Yeah, he's not doing the second one. I think Nia DaCosta is directing the second one, but he's coming back for the third one.
Well, already directed.
Oh, okay.
It's already directed.
Oh yeah.
Wait, so they filmed them? They filmed them back to back, but he didn't.
The first
direct
and second
this one?
were back to back. Yeah, no, he directed the first one.
He must have stayed on like an EP or something.
I think he was like an executive.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was on set.
I think the second one might be better without Danny Boyle's fingers in it.
You think so? Do you know Nia DaCosta? She did she did the Marvels. I didn't see that. She also did the Candyman reboot.
Candyman.
Both of those were kind of bad.
I see. It's weird, Nick. I always thought that your ass would be better without Danny Boyle's fingers in it, but Here we are.
I mean, I feel like technically, and like my renown, as long as people know that his fingers are in my ass, I feel like that's a good thing. You know, all press is good press.
True. Too much pressing.
I mean, do you guys have anything more to add with this movie?
No, I think we've kind of covered all bases. I'm excited for what's the second one called? 28 years later, the Bone Temple. Yeah.
The Boner Temple.
Samson's Temple.
Samson's
big cock boner temple.
That's why it's called the Bone
I hope
Temple.
there's 28 more cocks in the next movie. I'm going to give this one a high 7 out of 10. It might be an 8, but for now it's a 7.
I'll do 7 too. 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
8.5.
You did 9.
Good.
I thought.
Huh. Well, you can't do 9s on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
You can't do 8. You can't do 8. You can't do 8. You can't do 8.5. You can't do 8. You can't do 8.5 on Letterboxd.
You can do 9. You can't do 8.5 on Letterboxd.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I put a 9 on Letterboxd, because it's closer to a 9.
Why don't you do an 8.75 then? When does it end? When does it end, Nick? Why are you putting all these middle numbers?
We have a 10 rating on the podcast. Letterboxd only allows a 5-star rating.
I think that's weird when people are like, I've given this.
Isn't 4.5 stars is 9? Okay.
That's what 9. I have on Letterboxd.
All right.
There's no way to do 8.5.
So you can't do a half-star ratings. That's the thing.
Listen,
okay,
we gotta talk about ratings real quick. Nick, why the fuck do you give things half ratings?
Me?
Because there's me.
No, not you. No, VHS guy. Because like that's what.
Because a 9 is a really, really high score, but it's not quite a 9.
Too low?
Yes, an 8's too low.
You don't just go, I'll give it a high 8.
No.
Why not?
It's basically the same thing. High 8 is 8.5.
Really.
Yeah, I mean, I can be more. I can be more exact.
No, why not give it an 18 out of 20, Nick?
Yeah,
that's way higher than a 9.
No, because
fucking 16 out of 20.
Ethan, that's what you do. You say I'm giving it a strong, firm, beefy 7 out of 10. So that's like 7.5 basically, right?
Yeah, that's like less specific. I'm just giving some. Like, if somebody went through and looked at all of my scores, they would have a better idea than I'll give it a juicy wet wallop fucking 14. Like, it's.
I also just don't think number ratings are that important. I think most of like the subs. I have people that get pissed at me, or I'm like, this is a 6 out of 10, and they're like, oh, you hated it. That's like a D+. That's like a D if you go to school. And I'm like, no, it's good. 60% is mostly positive.
I think my scoring system is objectively right, and you can just suck it.
That's fine.
All
right, well, Lucas, what about you?
Actually, yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. That was really funny. But I'd give the movie a 6 because, like,
damn, his ass hated it.
It was like good, but I wanted more, you know. I think maybe the sequel will be like more like
there'll be more penises in the next one, I promise. It'll be better.
Yeah.
All right. Now
more dicks.
Yeah.
Now that Lucas's score is on the books, I have a topic I must bring up. Lucas, why do you give everything a fucking 5 out of 5?
Leave me alone. Okay.
Why? Okay, I'm gonna give the audience a little bit of preface here.
Okay.
Lucas on his Letterboxd gives nearly every fucking movie a 5 out of 5.
Everything.
Nearly every movie.
Bro,
5 out of 5.
Clearly, you did not see me review all the Twilight movies. I didn't give any of those a 5. Okay.
and then every once in a while, a movie will come out. It'll be like, what was the one that came out recently that he gave like an 8? And we're just like, why did he give this?
I don't know.
No, it was a couple months ago.
Oh,
there was some movie that was
Crow. Was it The Crow?
No, he gave The Crow a 5. He gave The Crow a 5, and then immediately after, he gave this other movie that was like objectively a good movie. He gave it like a 3, and we're just like, what the fuck is this rating system, dude?
Let me see. I got The Crow, and then he did Sinners, and then
he gave Sinners like an 8. I think
Sinners was a 9 out of 10. No, it was Sinners. You were like a 9 out of 10.
Bro.
Yeah,
you don't.
You're like The Crow, perfect fucking movie, nothing wrong with The Crow, and then fucking Sinners. I don't know.
No, you don't get it, bro. You don't get it.
I don't get it. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, you have to explain yourself,
Okay.
Lucas.
explain yourself.
I don't know if I can. My brain don't function good.
So you're just like a movie lover.
43% of all of your ratings are 10 out of 10.
Okay. So. Okay. The max. Okay, if I like really like a movie I've gone to see in the theater, the max I'll give it is like a 9. So like 4.5 out of 5, whatever, on Letterboxd. And so like, I'll only
To avoid recency bias, right?
No. So like,
that was a genuine question.
no. It's just because like, I mean, I guess kind of to avoid recency bias, but like, I don't know, like it's so hard to explain. Like, I only give stuff a 5 if I've like seen it multiple times. And yes, like I guess like I probably should go through my Letterboxd and just like lower everything and then make 5 like my favorite movies of all time. But like for me, literally anything that's a 5 is just like, oh yeah, like I love this movie, but it doesn't mean it's like my all-time favorite. It just means like, oh, I love this movie. I've seen it like multiple times. Like I'd rewatch it like anytime.
But like thinking objectively, right?
Yeah.
5 means you can't really point anything wrong with it.
Right. Well, that's not how like when I first started doing Letterboxd, I didn't think about it that way. Like I thought it more subjectively. Like I didn't think it like objectively, you know? Like I was just like, oh yeah, this movie's probably like, okay, let's give like, okay, we had this debate about Army of the Dead, right? I was like, oh yeah, this movie's like horrible, but like I love it. Like it's so like entertaining to me because it's like dog shit. And that's like why I gave it a 5, because like I will gladly rewatch it a million times because it's like so like it's like so fun
Holy
to watch.
Shit!
It's bad
all
though.
right. Lucas,
What?
I gotta fucking call you out. Hold on.
No,
Unbreakable, 6 out of 10.
Unbreakable?
Unbreakable, 6 out of 10. Interstellar, 6 out of 10. Nosferatu, 6 out of 10.
Boo, boring.
No, give us some 5s. Give us some 5s.
Those movies just aren't for me. I don't know.
Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 gets a 5 out of 10. Twilight gets a 5 out of 10.
I give it a 5?
Yeah. Captain America Brave New World, 4 out of 10. Batman v Superman,
Twilight,
6 out of 10.
Twilight and Robert Pattinson in it, okay? That's
28 Weeks Later, 5 out of 10. 5 Nights at Freddy's, 6 out of 10.
What? No, I have to lower both of those. No. Hold on. 28 weeks should be like 2.
Okay,
5 Nights.
Why?
Long Legs,
3.
4 out of 10. Damn, Nick, you called out for Long Legs.
Wait,
why did the Crow get a 5?
Legs. Why did the Crow? Wait, the original?
Why did the Crow get a masterpiece?
No, the Crow remake.
No, you guys keep going back between the 5-star and the 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm confused.
Oh, sorry.
Crow got 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah, the Crow got 10 out of 10.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect score.
The Crow,
sorry, there's
like
a
the
ton
remake
of
Crow.
10 out of 10s.
I just
Yes.
I don't know. I know it's flawed. I know it's terrible, but like I just really enjoyed it. Like I think it's just like I don't know. It's just rewatchable for me. I don't know.
Spiral, 5 out of 10. 5 out of 5.
Well, anything that's Saw related gets a 5, except Jigsaw, because that movie sucks.
Okay, that's fine. All the Maze Runner movies, 10 out of 10s. So far,
but okay,
all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, 10 out of 10.
Here's my problem.
I love
like
Pirates.
I'll see some of your reviews, and it'll be like Pirates of the Caribbean 4, A Dead Man's Tale, and then in your review, it'll be like, it's not the best Pirates of the Caribbean, but pure cinema. And I'm like,
no,
bro,
no,
how? No, but hold on,
true.
but hold on. But like, how does anybody know that which one's better than the other ones if they're all 5 out of 5s?
Okay, so
you do say those things.
Okay,
you rate things a 5, and you're like, it's not the best of this series of movies, but
so like if there's a franchise I really like, or like a trilogy, like if it's like okay, let's take like
Lord of the
let's
Rings.
just take Pirates for an example.
Okay,
Pirates,
all of them, even the fucking shit ones, you gave a 5 out of 5.
Okay,
though.
yes.
I'm sorry, you gave Dead Man's Chest, or sorry, not Dead Man's Chest. You gave Dead Man Tell No Tell a perfect score. That movie's the fucking most miserable movie theater experience I've ever had.
It's because it's like part of the franchise, okay? And I like the first 3 are like some of my favorite movies of all time. So I'm like, oh, like it's a part of the franchise, so I have to put it like in my 5 out of 5 section, but it's like not a.
But like,
it's so hard to explain. It's so hard to explain.
Isn't you giving that movie a good rating despite being bad a disservice to those films? Like, shouldn't the filmmakers know that this movie in this franchise is objectively ass, so that they know to make better ones?
Yeah, I guess.
Also, it's like giving The Godfather 2 5 out of 5, but then Godfather 3 5 out of 5 just because it came right after Godfather 2.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 5 out of 5.
Okay, I actually really like that movie. I really like that movie. It's good. It's good.
All right, well let's stop prodding Lucas about his reviews.
Listen, Nick. From now on, I'm gonna fix my Letterboxd reviews, and my reviews are gonna be objective. Okay, they're gonna be objective.
You don't have to fix it.
They're gonna be. You don't have to do anything.
We're just joking.
You don't have to. You don't have to change anything. I just had to, since we have you on the podcast, I had to call you out for it.
We were having fucking debates over your Crow review. We were like, what the like? It was the funniest thing for me because like, let me find it. You literally started it off and we're just like, this movie's not great, but and then it was a 5 out of 5. Oh yeah, it's although this movie is very flawed, I think it's extremely overhated. No one ever gives it a fair chance.
Okay, I agree with that.
Okay, so I have some interview questions for you, Lucas.
Yeah. Let's get into that.
I'm scared.
Are you cool with that? Are you cool with doing a little interview?
Yeah.
It's pretty casual, nothing serious.
Okay.
So,
I'm just kidding.
Who is your dark passenger, and is he in the room with us now?
I don't understand this shit. I don't know what the fuck that means.
You've seriously never seen Dexter? You don't even
saw Dexter? A few episodes of Dexter when I was a kid.
Bro,
you gotta watch Dexter.
Nick, my dark passenger is my dead cat who tells me to kill people. All right, there you go.
Aw, that's kind of sweet.
What is a dark passenger? What the fuck?
All right, so a dark passenger that's what Dexter calls like his dark side. You know, when he wants to go, it's like his urges to go kill people.
I'm summoning my dark passenger.
Well, you have to understand that Dexter he leads a double life. He needs to compartmentalize.
I know he's a serial killer
who
kills serial killers because he doesn't want to kill innocent people.
Yeah, which is very commendable, Ethan. So maybe you should try to get that through your head.
Yeah, Ethan.
All right. So who is the one YouTuber that primarily inspired you to start a channel?
Other than me.
Whoa. Okay, calm down, buddy. No, actually, you're right. I would say like the secondary person was Nick. Yeah, but
really,
I guess
he had a direct influence on him.
Yeah. He like talked.
I did try to talk him into doing movie channel instead of video gaming.
Yeah. I guess like okay, so we're talking about my current channel, not my stupid old channel, but there's this YouTuber named the Thrifty Typewriter, and he like I don't know, he just makes like very similar videos to me, and I discovered his channel through like Walking Dead like video essays, and then like now he just makes like videos on like all movies and shows that he likes, and I don't know, like his like style is like really simple, like his editing is simple, but I think he's like funny, and he's like professional, and he like I don't know. He's really good at just like, he's like, oh, I like this movie. I'm just gonna make a video about it, and then he'll just like do that, and I'm like, damn, like, wish I could do that, because it's like, I don't know, like, it's just not easy. Like in theory, you're like, oh, I really love this movie or show. Like, I want to make a video about it, but like, for me, it's like not that easy. Like, it has to have.
I mean,
reason.
Isn't that what you
like,
do? You make...
yeah, like on a surface level, right? But like on a deeper level, you got to be like, why am I making this? Like, what's my take? Like, why is mine like, how, like, sorry, how is mine gonna be different from like everyone else's? Like, how can I make mine like unique? Like those kinds of things. And so,
right.
And plus, like, you can't just like be, I like this movie, I'm gonna make a video about it. Like, okay, what about the movie though? So, yeah.
Yeah, no, a lot of the times, I understand that.
A lot of the times when we're creating, I mean, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna make a video about this movie or whatever, and Nick's always like, VHS guy's like, well, what's the angle? And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta find an angle to tackle it at.
Well, this is the angle becomes less important as you get an audience. Like if you notice that, like moist critical penguin man,
he just throws up.
He'll be like,
whatever.
Last of Us wasn't good, and it gets like 8 million views.
Total cocksuck.
And there's no thumbnail. All of his thumbnails are exactly the same.
It's just him like
he doesn't
posing
even put thumbnails.
Yeah. I mean, I hate making movie content. It's like the worst thing ever.
Really?
Nick's just decided like 2 days ago that he hates making. He's been doing it for like 3 years. And like, actually, no, now.
Actually, it sucks.
No, I've been in denial about it.
Guy.
I've been in denial.
That you just weren't happy doing it for the longest time.
I like making videos and I like creating content. It's just like, I don't know. Like I've always said that it's not very like creatively fulfilling.
Oh right. So so when you're making those videos, you're like, oh, like this is fun, but I could be doing more. You know, like I could be making.
I mean,
something
I get
cooler
it. I get
and
what he
better,
says.
more fulfilling.
Because I mean, like, I've been making my YouTube videos for a while, and I've really enjoyed that, and I've learned a lot. But also, I've made 2 short films in the last year, and holy shit, are they creatively fulfilling compared to making any YouTube video I've ever made. So,
right,
yeah,
it's just a different thing. I mean, not specifically like that's the next step for everyone, but just there's sometimes you find something where you're like, damn, this is what I should have been doing.
No, I mean, I came into YouTube after doing music for the longest time. I mean, I still do music, but that to me is like my genuine artistic endeavor in life. And I think at least for me, some aspects of like YouTube video creation are artistic. Most of it is analytical though, which I don't necessarily find creative, because it's like it's critique and analysis. So it's not, you're not really you're creating a take, you're creating a perspective, but you're not creating a piece of art, I don't think.
Right.
So I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
It is content. It's not art. I think.
Nick, when you, like, for example, like your Invincible videos, one thing that I cannot stand when making videos is when I have to give enough context and recap of a piece of media. Yeah. That just fucking drives me up a wall, because it takes so much time and work, and I'm not really adding anything most of the time. Like I'm thinking about your Invincible videos. Like the one about the ending of Invincible and the Dinosaurus or whatever. Yeah, I was like, that you're giving a ton of context where you're just kind of like recapping the story, and that stuff drives me crazy. Making all that. Yeah, that was a necessary evil. I felt like I tried to do it as quick as I could. I basically ran through the entire from the end. Whatever. This, I think it's like issue 68, I think, where the fight with Conquest happens, to the beginning of what I assumed would be the end of the beginning of the ending season of Invincible, the final season. So I tried to get through that in like 12 minutes out of a 44-minute video, and then the rest was like analyzing the end of the character arcs and the themes at the end and all that stuff. So it was pretty boring to do, but it was, I don't know. People just seem to like that kind of content though too. They just kind of zone out and be like, oh, so this is what happens. I mean, there are people that will fully watch like the AI recap of a movie where it's just like, this movie is crazy. All these black people get hung up in a juke joint and vampires show up. Here's what happened.
Yeah.
And it just goes for, 45 minutes and they make 20 videos a day.
Yeah.
So Lucas, kind of speaking about like what's creatively like rewarding or whatever, like what do you kind of want for your channel and YouTube growth over the next like however long? You're the youngest of all of us.
I don't know. That's a hard question. I don't know. I just want like, I don't know. Doesn't everyone want to go like full time on YouTube to some extent, where like
absolutely
you could just make anything, and then like even if it performs badly, like your like most loyal viewers will like still watch it and be like, oh, like awesome video, like I think that's like pretty rewarding, is like seeing like a community actually like grow, where you like are seeing repeat like commenters on videos, and it like like you've really got them when like it'll be something they're like not even interested, they'll watch it and be like, oh, like I just watched this for you, don't even know what it was, like nice video. And then I think that's like pretty rewarding. But yeah, in terms of like growing my channel, like I don't know, I want to get bigger, like one day go full time maybe. Definitely want to get better at thumbnails because I'm like totally shit at thumbnails. I would love to like, okay, Ghoul, if you were saying like not everyone like who makes like movie YouTube videos has to do this at one point, but like I've always wanted to make like short films, and I have like fun ideas. Like I want to do like a fan made music video. Like I have this like musical movie that I not like a movie, it's like a web series, but like I would love to like recreate that one day, and then maybe do like an original short film, just like more like I don't know, just more like creative fulfilling stuff like you were talking about, so yeah.
So is being a YouTuber cringe?
Yes.
just definitely in all cases. It's always cringe.
Yep.
Yep.
I think if you proudly proclaim you're a YouTuber, it's cringe.
That is something that
disagree.
We go over this a lot, whether being a YouTuber is cringe.
I was filming in public doing some like stuff for my video that I'm working on. And I had a bunch of people walk up to me and ask me like, what's your channel name? What's your channel name? All this kind of shit. And that was when I realized, like, I think I might have said this before, but like it like really punctuated in my head that being a small YouTuber is fucking cringe. I did not tell a single person what my YouTube channel was. I did not tell them, because I don't want them to go to my channel and see I have 900 subs and see I'm working. Like it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I could have gotten like 10 subs, but like I don't want people. That's weird.
Wait, so
I don't know,
how many subs would you need to have to be proud to tell people that you do it though?
10K?
Like 100K.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean
100K? I feel like 40 to 50. I'd be like, okay. I mean, even before that, I feel like even 15, 20, I'd tell people. I mean, I tell people now.
Yeah, I mean, like you just hide it now.
No, I tell people I do. Yeah. I tell people I do YouTube, but just people I know. I don't just tell like random people. I don't know.
Yeah.
So in a way, it is cringe. It's cringe trying to break in as a YouTuber, because like it's I feel like people just see that as like, this guy's fucking that guy who has 10 views on his fucking channel, fucking whatever. It's just, it feels embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you have to. You can't let that get you down, though. It
doesn't stop me from trying to make stuff.
It doesn't bother me that much that some people might think it's cringe, because I know for every person that thinks it's cringe, there's probably 10 that would never even cross their mind.
True.
Yeah.
Because people go on YouTube to watch content. They're not just watching content from people that they know or that are big YouTubers. YouTube is, out of all the social media platforms, especially like video hosting and content hosting, it is pretty good about letting unseen and like underserved voices on the platform rise to the top if they make good stuff. Like there's no other place on the internet where you can make a video with fucking 10 subs and have it get hundreds of thousands of views. Like it's pretty impressive that it's able to do that, you know? I mean, you can do it on TikTok, but TikTok views are so easy to get comparatively, and just like so flimsy. It's just like, you know, flash in the pan type shit. If you make something of quality on YouTube and it's the right a lot of it's luck, you know, too, but it can get out there, you know, if it's a unique take or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I really appreciate that about YouTube, and I think the viewers do too.
And I think YouTube's great. It's just, I think being a small YouTuber is inherently kind of embarrassing because you're like trying to do something that's like beyond the like traditional path that people expect of you.
Yeah, I think it's like I don't know. Like maybe it's kind of cringe when you're doing it as a hobby, but like once you start making money, it's like slightly less cringe because then like you could be like, oh yeah, like it's a fun hobby, but I make money off of it, and then like other people will be like, oh, like that's cool. Like it's a little like less embarrassing, a little more like impressive, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. Once you get monetized, it's a little bit different, I think.
Yeah. But I feel like it's not like, I feel like once you go full time, that's when it's like not cringe. At least you shouldn't feel it's cringe because it's like it's your job. Like you like if someone asks you like what do you do for a living, you'd be like, porn, I don't know, like, you know, like
as we all do, you know.
yeah, obviously. But I feel like that's at the point where it's like not cringe, it's like cool. But like I agree with you, Nick. It's like when you have a small channel and you're like not even monetized yet, it's like, oh yeah, like that is like low-key embarrassing. So not for you. I mean, like,
just looking at Nick like,
sorry. I mean, like,
I'm not taking it badly. It's fine.
I mean, everyone.
I'm the one who said it.
Yeah, all of us, especially, you know, like all of us. Yeah.
I could be monetized. All I had to, if I just made like one decent video, I could be monetized. I just don't want to fucking make video essays anymore.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. It's not for everyone.
So, enough about cringe. Speaking of cringe, I made a video about cringe the other day that fucking bombed. That, which in and of itself was cringe.
No.
But anyway, so
that's always the worst.
What is it about? Because a big part of your channel is you talk about zombies and stuff. You're big into like Walking Dead. I've asked Nick this before. I think like, what is it about zombies that makes you gravitate towards them so much?
Okay, so I mean,
or is it just like The Walking Dead? Are you just like a Walking Dead guy and not a zombie guy? Because you didn't like this movie, so I'm curious. Like, are you just into Walking Dead and not zombies?
No. Like I like zombies. Yeah, I like zombies in general. Like my favorite zombie media isn't even Walking Dead.
Is it like Dawn of the Dead or something?
What?
What is your favorite zombie media?
Oh, it's a show. It's a show called Z Nation. It's like,
oh, okay.
It's like if Walking Dead was like funny, I guess. It's the only way I can explain it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's who my character on YouTube is like based off of, like one of the main characters, essentially. I did not come up with them at all, but you know, whatever. I don't know. Zombie media is just like fun. It's like really fun to imagine like you're in this like post-apocalyptic world where you have to like survive and like fight off like these like monsters, and like obviously zombie media has like died a lot like since like mid 2000s ish, but I think there's just like so much you can do with it. Like there's so much variety. Like I think that's why everyone's gotten bored of zombies. Is that every zombie thing that comes out is just like the same shit? When it's like you can literally do anything with zombies. Like, put zombies in medieval times and have like knights fight zombies. Like, that'd be peak. Like, honestly, like,
yeah, but you seem to push back against they're trying to introduce the fact that
years.
that zombies they might have feelings or like some kind of humanity or like
they can get
pregnant.
I said I wanted them to get more weird. What do you mean?
No, when we were talking,
you said they pushed it too far.
Zombie and
no,
yeah.
Didn't you say? I thought you. I could have sworn you said that.
Roll the tape.
Bro, that's not what I was trying to imply. If that's what I was implying. But yeah, I think there's just a lot you can do. Like, didn't they? I don't know if you guys heard about it, but there's a new movie coming out called like Raptor, and it's like zombies like with like monks, and it's like gonna be about this like group of monks that are like trying to preserve like I don't even know how to explain it, but just like look it up. It's called Raptor. But like we need more stuff like that where it's like wildly different, and that's what I do appreciate about this movie 28 years later is that like it's not just another reskin of like, I don't know, 28 days, or it's like just
son of a bitch.
No, wait,
very good. Sorry.
My mic turned itself off.
I was like so fucking. I was like,
kill myself. I would kill myself.
Okay.
But
Minecraft.
Like, yeah. There's just there.
All right, I'll just move on. I'll move on to the next question.
Yeah.
But okay. So you guys can jump in on this one too because it affects both of you.
Okay.
What are the biggest challenges that gamer Americans face in today's economy?
Oh, this is my fault.
We're so oppressed all the time. Us gamers, we get hated on so much.
Real talk. Who's a gamer here?
You three both.
Like, would you classify as a gamer?
Well,
yeah.
I haven't been a gamer in like 5 years.
Nick's abstinence for gaming. He says it ruins his like productivity. And Nick, you've only played Breath of the Wild
and Lego Harry Potter.
Oh, peak.
Banger, nice.
I will play GTA a lot when it comes out.
Yeah, same.
But I have a year of safety.
Yeah.
Wait, so you haven't played a video game in 5 years, Nick?
What?
No, he plays League of Legends all the time.
Yeah, I've played not all the fucking time.
That's all.
Also, I've played it like occasionally with my brother because that's like the only time I can really hang out with him because he's a super gamer. So like I want to like be able to talk to him.
Imagine going to hell with your brother every day for your own free will.
That's the only
League of Legends takes place in hell.
No, it's just everybody who plays it are like it's full of bad people. Everybody who plays it's a bad
Everyone
person.
says that you're a miserable person if you actually play it. There's like the memes where it shows an Xbox and a PC, and it's like Xbox can't play League of Legends, PC can, Xbox wins.
Describe League of Legends. I want to know why it attracts such a naughty crowd.
It's like a RTS 5v5, like
English.
Like slow down. He doesn't English, damn it. He doesn't know what that means.
It's like an online game where you like 5 people versus 5 people trying to destroy the other person's tower, and it's like there's
hold
a lot
on,
of like.
Hold on 1 second. You just told me you're not a gamer. You're like, well, it's an RTS 5v5. You gotta destroy the other person's tower, and I'm like,
check please.
Oh, okay, not a game. Somehow not a gamer.
Okay, I will say
gamer.
I used to weigh 300 pounds. I was mega fat, and I played a lot of video games. I've since reformed. Okay.
All right, but so that was the joke question. I know that I mean, I guess if you really want to answer it seriously, I guess it would be DLC, right? That's the biggest challenge gamer Americans face in today's economy.
I mean, it's microtransactions, it's corporate America, it's inflation, Trumpflation.
Trumpflation.
Yeah.
All right, but so this is a more serious one for all you gamers again. No. Do you think video games are surpassing film and television as the most interesting and engaging medium for narrative storytelling?
I think I think no, but I think it can be. It's such an unexplored and interesting art form. I think the thing that pisses me off about a lot of video games is that we just try to make them movies, and that's like, I mean, you can do really cool stuff like that with Last of Us, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's a game with some cutscenes in it that are just basically modeled after, traditional storytelling in film. Well, but I think get really cool and interesting stories out of games as the medium of art it is.
No, it's interesting you bring up Last of Us, though. I think that's an interesting example, especially after the backlash of the second season, because it's like so many people clearly just love the story of the second one much more than the TV show. So it makes you feel like, is there something? I mean, obviously, it's immersion that the medium offers more than film. But is there something else about the narrative structure that just allows you to get into the story, to care about it more when you're playing as these characters?
You are the character.
Being the people, and you're literally you're not just like in the first game. You're not just playing as Joel and like hanging out with Ellie. You're hanging out with Ellie for like 15, 20 hours.
No, I get like, that, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like, is that in now or in the future? Like, is it on the track to eventually becoming the primary way that people consume stories, like the best stories people are going to go to video games for? Like, do you see that happening?
No, never.
No, I think you'll get some outliers, but no. I think gaming, as Nikki Jakey says, the thing you got to keep fed in your brain is the goopy goblin gamer brain, which means you need that 30-second gameplay loop that is engaging and fun, because that's the main thing. We don't want to get away from a lot of games. They just make them fun. I mean, most of them. Some you can have experimental stuff, but
the thing is, there needs to be like an amazing storyteller behind every good game, and there really aren't that many. Yeah, there's not that many like creative minds actually behind video games a lot of the time in terms of like narrative storytelling.
No.
What about Neil Druckmann?
He's done a decent job.
Mm-hmm.
What about
same with the woman behind Uncharted? Forgot her name.
Jodie Comer.
No, that's an actress. Amy Hennig, I think is her name.
Yeah, Amy Hennig. That's it.
Amy Hennig. Yeah. I think there's definitely it's a ripe art form to explore in its own right, and has infinite potential at this point.
This is never going to take over.
No, I don't think it's not going to take over in the same way that film and like serialized storytelling functions.
I don't know how you can be so sure about that, though. Like movies seem to be movies are becoming less and less popular. It feels like. I mean, the box office is fucking collapsing right now, and it's been a downward trend.
It's going to take over.
Yeah, that's
people are getting more into video games time and time, you know? I mean, but when they do consume long-form content, especially younger people, I mean, Lucas, you could probably attest to this. It seems like more people are playing games than they are watching movies now. What do you say?
But they're not playing games for the storyline. They're playing like Fortnite, and they're playing Call of Duty,
GTA, and Call of Duty.
It's the actual narrative
Minecraft.
Of like narrative structure like of movies is not being taken over by games. People have shorter attention spans.
Yeah, it's rare if you get a game that is equal to, and even rare if you get one that is better than a lot of basic storytelling in film.
Right. So the Gen Alpha isn't playing narrative games; they're playing Fortnite only. You think?
At this point, not really. Well, I didn't get into narrative games until I got older. I didn't have patience for it. I just wanted to play with my friends, play GTA Online, and fuck around. Play COD.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't need. I think you can have a really short attention span and play a narrative video game for hours on end, because you don't need to pay attention to it. It's an active activity that you're engaged in. It's not like you're watching something where you can just go on your phone and also have it on in the background. Like, you need to be actively playing it, you know?
But think about like why all they've been doing, and they haven't released a single DLC for GTA 5. All they've done is just add shit to their online.
I mean, they've released free DLC to GTA Online.
To the online, but not to the actual main story.
They were going to, and they canceled all that because they made so much money from online.
Exactly. The money is on like online fucking mindless content online, or for video games.
Yeah, but for GTA specifically, isn't that because it's like all hands on deck for 6? I mean, they've been working on that for fucking ever.
No, 6 has been only in development for the last like 5 years.
And I mean, that's a long ass time, is it not?
Oh, I mean, that's like your standard at this point. But I mean, the last GTA came out over a decade ago.
Oh, okay. So what do you think, Lucas, about all this?
Repeat the question.
Okay, sorry, yeah, we kind of got long-winded there.
The question is, do you envision, whether it's now or sometime in the near future, do you see video games surpassing TV and movies as like the primary way that people get narrative storytelling from?
Oh, okay.
Like that medium gonna take over?
No, but like narrative, like story games are only like they were saying, it's only like half of gaming. Like the other half, people just play like brain rot online games.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a lot of like, I would say older people, maybe even some younger people, but they're just like, oh, like if I want to watch a movie, I'll just watch a movie. And they're like, they don't want to like, they're like, I don't want to say too lazy, but they just like don't want to go through all the trouble to play a game just to watch a movie when they can just watch a movie. But like, that's not how like we all view it, obviously, but I think that's just a lot of how people feel. And like, I don't think that will ever like become more popular than just, watching a movie. So
yeah,
short answer, no.
Well, I mean, you guys remember Quibi?
I remember Quibi.
So I'd like, yeah. I think every Quibi.
You don't know what that is, Lucas?
No.
It was basically a streaming service where there were very, very short episodes of things that were like under 5 minutes, like 4 to 5 minute episodes.
I heard about that.
Because they were all vertical aspect ratio.
Yeah, the idea was that they were trying to kind of, I don't know, circumvent the fact that everyone's attention spans are getting shorter now. So they're like, oh, we'll just make really short television episodes on this one streaming app that's like TikTok for TV, But that totally failed. It was not a successful thing. And it's not like they didn't.
It was so much money.
There was a lot of money behind it. There was a lot of talent behind it. And it just didn't take off. So I'm just thinking like people like short form entertainment, but it's kind of like, it's like the Fortnite version of content. Like I think people still, they're still interested in narrative and long form narrative, no matter what medium it's being presented to them in,
Yeah, it's easier to sit down for 2 hours and watch a movie than it is for 23 and play through a good video game story,
Yeah. Okay, so food for gamer thought. Anyway, do you wish Dexter ended up banging his sister?
I mean, no, I'm just kidding. No, I don't have
I mean,
nah, I like. Okay, how much of the show have you seen, Nick?
I've seen a good amount. I don't know if I've seen every single episode. I've seen like a couple
up until
seasons.
What season?
Do you know the spoiler?
What big spoiler?
One. There's a lot.
You can spoil. I'm not gonna go rewatch it again. You could spoil
spoilers for Dexter.
The Deb dies.
Oh, what the fuck! I didn't know you were gonna spoil. You guys.
Nick.
I didn't know it was gonna be a spoiler like that. I thought it was gonna be like a little spoiler.
Bro, you can spoil this. All right, this character dies. Bro, what the fuck?
That was just a little too far, but all right.
Yeah, come on. What the fuck?
Bro, Gandalf
You didn't have to tell him that.
I tried to warn him.
But no, I think... Okay, you know Quinn, right? Go on. You know Quinn?
Yes, yeah.
Deborah and Quinn. Not Deborah and Dexter. Deborah and Quinn. Okay, that's it.
That's the one true pairing.
Yeah, for Deborah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's your least favorite and most favorite aspect of like making YouTube videos?
Okay, that is wildly different.
Yeah, for me, this interview process was just coming up with shitpost Dexter questions and YouTuber questions.
Awesome. This has been amazing. The worst and best part of making videos?
Yeah.
I guess it's a cheap answer, but actually no. Okay. I would say the best part is like, okay, I'm having a stroke here. My fault, gang. Both worst and best are kind of the same answer, because like best is like when you finish the video, it's like very gratifying, very rewarding. You're like, oh, like I did it, I finished it. And then the worst part is like gambling and saying, oh, like am I like gonna get 0 views, or am I gonna get like, a couple thousand? And so that's like the worst part, where you could like, because it goes hand in hand with the best part, right? So you're like excited about this video, you feel really good, and then you're like, well, it's up to the YouTube gods now. And then if it fails, you just like borderline want to commit suicide. So like that's why it's the worst part. Oh yeah.
That's good, dude. It's so fucking, it's so random. It's heartbreaking when you put a lot of effort into something you think people would want to see, but then you're just like, because you feel, especially when you're under, when you're at the level that we're all at, like sub 50, 100K or whatever, like you think you're getting traction. You're like, oh, I have a couple videos that got over 50,000 or whatever, 10,000, and then it's just like, oh no, actually you don't, because here's a string that get under 1,000 or like 200, and it's like, oh fuck, I guess I don't know what I'm doing. It's so uncertain.
I feel like me and Nick always have like a discussion whenever one of his like videos goes poorly, and I feel like we're always trying to like dude, it's okay, like it's okay, like it's gonna be fine.
Aww.
But
I never feel like that. I always feel like it's the end of the world.
But like I'm with this next video, like I genuinely, like I know with how much time I'm gonna be putting into it and fucking all the embarrassing things I'm gonna be doing, like if it just flops, I'm gonna be fucking destroyed. I'm gonna be fucking I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be bleh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the worst ever I had was, but I kind of knew it was going to happen, was I spent like 2.5 months filming a full-on Mad Max video where I went out to the desert and like got all dressed up and cosplay, and
that was awesome.
I don't even think it's at 1,000 views at this point. After a year, it completely flopped. But I was like, you know what? I've learned my lesson.
But that's the thing. You think you learned the lesson, but you like.
Well, true. Like, I was hurt for my penguin video flopping.
I'll take this, and it will never happen again. But it always happens again. And no, I don't know.
Right.
My main thing is I just want to raise my bottom. I want to stop like getting so smacked in the face by these videos where it's like, at least they get 1,000 views every time. Like that's my. If I could do that, if I could be there in like 2 or 3 months, I'd be like, all right, I'm on track.
Then you're because I mean, 1,000 views will get you like, I don't know, like $20.
No,
$5,
$10, $6, yeah.
Well, see,
$1
with a video like this, like with a video like this, like I think I'm fucked, because I think anything under like 100,000, I'm gonna be disappointed. And it's like,
yeah.
But like I can't change that. Like that's how I feel.
I mean, you get on. That's a ridiculous expectation to have.
You have such high expectations.
You get on my case, like that's just setting yourself up for failure to be like, oh, it has to have 1,000,
but I can't. How am I supposed?
Views.
How am I supposed to change that expectation for myself, though?
And you feel like your videos fail if they don't get 10,000 views.
Yeah,
which is I don't get that either. I'll look at a video as a failure if it gets under 1,000. I'll be like, oh, that really was a failure.
Yeah, me too.
But
no, I feel like if it's just 1,000 views, I feel like I did something really basic and small that I could have fixed that would have got it there.
But I don't. Yeah, but you say that, but you also know that sometimes a lot of the shit is out of your control. Like sometimes you just get a bad go. Like the first, because it is random to an extent. Like what kind of people YouTube? It does its best to like send it out to the right group of people to give you the best shot, I think, but because it wants your video to do well. The algorithm doesn't want you to fail, but like at the same time, it's not going to pick the perfect group every time.
But I think if your intro and your thumbnail are strong enough, like people that are even somewhat interested in it will like stick around for a bit and see what it's about, you know?
Yeah, but you still, if the video doesn't get, for my channel, like you need to get at least 4.5% of all the people that it's shown to click on it, and then you need to get as close to 50% retention as you can get, or it's like dead in the water, basically.
Right.
Like it's not getting much farther than that if you can't reach those analytics, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd rather have too high expectations for myself and not reach them than like just be happy with like a number I'm not actually happy with.
No, I mean I
guess.
I get it. As long, I mean, I think the difference between us is you have high expectations, but you're also not like gonna fucking slit your wrists if they're not met. You're just like, all right, whatever. I'm not like that, so I get really upset when I don't have my expectations met. Whereas I think
I'm
you
also like
you can let it roll off your back.
I think I'm
easier.
also like maybe I just live in a world of more delusion than you, because like in my mind, it's always going to work out for me. It's some way, shape, or form. It's going to work out, and I think you don't think that way.
I think I genuinely do think that if I stick to this, if I stick to this like as hard as I'm going at YouTube as I am right now for the next 2 years, like I don't really envision a world where I won't be full time. So maybe that's a delusion, but I
don't think so. I think that's very doable.
Yeah,
I think it's reasonable.
I think you can do that within a year.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of where I'm at with my delusions. Whether I guess your mileage varies on whether that's delusional or not, but
like my delusion isn't like I'll be able to do this, I guess, for like and make us okay money. It's like I'm gonna be very successful. Like in my mind, I'm just gonna happen. I don't know why I think that way. Maybe it's just like the way I was brought up or something. But
it's the damn millennials getting participation trophies.
Guess so.
I don't know. I feel that way too. I feel like if there's something I really want to try to achieve, I think I can do it. I remember like the short film festival I just did. Like I did one earlier this year at the very beginning, and I was like, it's my first one. I didn't tell anybody about it. I was like, this is gonna kind of suck because it's my first, and it kind of sucked. It was all right. I'm happy with it, but went through, did okay. I won like a partial award. And I was like, you know what? I'll try next time. I'll do better next time. And then we won this one. And I was like, oh, fuck. I wasn't expecting to win until like 2 or 3, maybe even then, like even be considered. But now I'm just like, well, shit. Well, no. What's next? Let's just try. What's the next hardest thing I can do? Let's go do that.
Is your film available to watch somewhere?
No, it is going to another film festival right now, so it cannot be posted publicly. Yeah, it's going to an international film festival.
Sick.
So yeah.
All right, so I got a couple rapid fire questions for you.
Shoot them. Throw in the Stuckman one at the end.
So no. Shane from The Walking Dead or The Punisher?
The Punisher.
Is this like who to sleep with?
I mean, you can take it
Who's
that
more
way.
Bangable? Yeah, I'm The Punisher for sure.
Favorite fast food restaurant?
I don't know.
Are you West Coast or East Coast? Because that might change the answer.
West Coast.
He's West.
You're West Coast? It's got to be In-N-Out, bro. Come on.
No, I've only gone there like once. I've gone there once.
Don't say Carl's
Get
Jr.
out of here. I will.
Ew.
I will find you. My family loves Carl's Jr. for no reason.
I don't know. Okay, Jack in the Box is kind of a guilty pleasure.
Jack in the Box?
So
that's fine.
Guilty pleasure.
Nick, what about you?
Chipotle, dude. I'm at Chipotle like twice a week.
Is that
you have
fast
a
food?
Whataburger down there? That's good.
Whataburger sucks ass.
Whataburger's pretty good. I've been to Texas once. It was good.
I think Chipotle.
We have In-N-Out here too. There's like a lot of locations.
Isn't fast food though, Nick.
Is it not?
I don't think it is. That doesn't count. If you can't get it through a drive-through, it doesn't count.
That's exactly.
There's the one near me has a drive-through.
Well, that doesn't count.
But that's
the one near me has a drive-through.
That's Texas.
Okay, fine. Fucking Schlotzky's.
What the hell is that?
You never had Schlotzky's?
That sounds like you just made up that word.
I gotta ask my girl.
Oh yeah, it is. I guess it is in Austin. I guess it is in Austin. Like it's an Austin-based like sandwich fast food restaurant
food or something.
There's sandwiches. They're good.
All right. Favorite stand-up comedian?
Oh wait, I watch a lot of stand-up comedy actually. There's this guy. I don't think he's very well known, but he's on TikTok, and he does comedy with his son. His name's Josh Wolf. He's really funny.
Oh, I think I've heard of that guy before.
My favorite is Young Justice and his dad.
Big Justice.
Big Justice. We bring the boom.
We bring the boom.
They're stand-up guys, right?
Yeah. Ethan, what about you?
Favorite comedian?
You've probably never watched stand-up, huh?
I've been to stand-up shows.
Do they have stand-up in Nevada?
Yeah.
God, why did you say it like that?
Nevada? Yeah, they have.
I'm not even kidding. There was a short film at
stand-up.
our festival that was like, someone said Nevada, and the entire theater was like, boo! Like, yelled it.
What? How are you supposed to say it?
So funny.
Well, I mean, everyone that lives in Nevada says Nevada.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's they get really mad.
Ethan, sorry, Gulub, dox yourself. Where do you live in
No,
Nevada?
it's fine. You can call me Ethan.
Where
knows
do
I'm
you
Ethan.
live in Nevada?
I'm like up by the Tahoe area.
Okay, I live in Vegas.
Oh, nice. A Nevada brethren.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the really deserty part.
All right, well that's it for the interview,
well,
guys.
Actually, no, Lucas, real quick, what are your thoughts on our patron saint of the podcast, Chris Stuckman?
Oh, I've literally never watched a single video by him.
Damn, bro, you're missing out. You got to go back and watch all of his
True
classics. His
you really should.
hilariosity.
Are you
on the Wicker Man?
Yeah. Are you guys gonna go see his movie when it comes out?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we're gonna get a whole episode, and we're gonna get him on the pod for that episode.
We're gonna make a whole series out of it. We're gonna do a 10-part review. We're only talking about that for the entire fall.
Peak.
Yeah,
I've been collecting blackmail on him for the past 6 months, so we're gonna have him on the podcast soon.
You're gonna have a lot of questions for him.
Yeah.
Honestly, I know we joke about like Chris Stuckman, but I would honestly love to talk to Chris Stuckman. He seems like
I would
a cool
too.
dude.
That's why I've been collecting blackmail to get him on.
And Joel Haver.
Does he seem like chill? Like,
yeah, he seems like a chill dude.
He got his movie funded or distributed by Neon.
It's through Neon, yeah.
I don't get it. What's the joke? Why does everyone hate him? Like, is it
It's
just because
he doesn't?
sellout?
I mean, the main thing. It's basically because he doesn't really review movies anymore. He's very like vague about all of his stuff because he's in the industry now. So that's like the main thing.
Oh, okay.
He got famous off of shitting on movies, and now he won't shit on movies anymore because he makes movies.
Because he wants to like be invited to like.
I mean, he knows all it. I mean, I get it because it would be hard to like make a review on someone and then you go talk to the person that made that after you were just like.
But there's still something to be said about authenticity, though.
Oh,
like,
sure.
It's like,
there's it's just the reality of the world, though. Like you're not gonna go shit on everybody that you want to be seen as a colleague.
Stop making reviews. Make other content.
Like what? Like what though? Stuff. He makes like not even
behind the scenes footage. He could talk about movies he wants to make.
He does do behind. But dude, how are you gonna? You can't just like pivot your entire channel to everyone who's subscribed to hear my takes on movies. Now here's just like random behind the scenes footage of my movie. Like how long is that shit gonna go?
Okay,
for?
but I get that, but it's way less like disingenuous. And,
I don't find it that disingenuous because what he does is he just doesn't review movies that he knows he hates. He says it's like a movie appreciation channel, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like there's a lot of people who just talk about stuff that they like because they want to be like positive on YouTube.
I think it's like I do that. I'm pretty sure
for the most part
he's had movies that he's basically said in his reviews that he doesn't think are that good, but that's like as far as he'll say anything about it.
Yeah, which is I think he's willing to critique stuff. He's just not going to do his hilariosity thing where he's just tearing shit down. You know, I don't know. I don't really see an issue with it. It's a hard industry to break into, man. Like you don't want to make it any harder on yourself by being like, oh, you know that movie, that guy who I saw at a film festival the other day, his movie fucking sucks. It's not realistic, you know.
I get it, and I'm not saying that I'm just saying that he shouldn't keep making reviews. That's all I'm saying.
He used to do video essays. If he did video essays, I think it would be better, maybe. But
you should make a whole like 2-hour like documentary on Chris Stuckman, Nick. So like, why Chris Stuckman?
Then we
definitely
get put on a block list.
Yeah,
that's how you get put on the FBI watch list.
Yeah, I'm not making anything movie related anymore.
Okay.
Only Bucky's related.
Yeah, bussies.
All right. Thank you everybody for watching this. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave a like and a comment. If you have any questions for us, if you're listening to us on our audio only platforms such as Spotify and Apple Podcasts, please leave us a 5-star rating. Lucas, thank you so much for being on this podcast. Do you want to go ahead and plug yourself to the audience?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm Lucas. My channel is LaughingLulu. I just I don't know. I make reviews and video essays on a lot of stuff, mainly horror adjacent and occasionally superhero stuff. Those are the two genres I'm most interested in. And I am kind of guilty of only talking about stuff that I like. I try to avoid talking about stuff I don't like unless it's a part of something I already like. I don't know. But yeah, check out my channel.
So you modeled your channel after Chris Stuckman?
No. Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Thank you again for being on the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And
get Stuckmanized, everybody.
Go ahead and get Stuckmanized.
Get Stuckmanized.